Hey guys, Saf coming at you with another Raid Shadow Legends video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Razelvarg and how I have adapted a clan boss team that I created a couple of weeks ago to actually try and solve some of the issues. Now if you didn't catch my HareForceOne video, it was about 2 weeks ago, we created a clan boss team that could run 4-1 with Razelvarg. It's probably one of the first 4-1 that didn't include like an ally attack or counter attack. I know there was some question marks about that. Basically a champion that actually took 4 actions in 1 turn. But the main issue with that team was a lack of increased attack coverage for Razelvarg, so our main damage dealer was losing increased attack on half of the turns. In this video, we're going to be looking at what that issue was in more detail using the DeadwoodJedi calculator, and I'm going to be using an epic champion that is one of the promo login champions that you can actually get for free to actually try and mitigate the issue and solve the problem. We're going to be looking at how that works, and I'm also going to show you the run in progress using the team and adjusting the team around a little bit. But before we get into that, let's talk about today's video sponsor. So thanks to Bloodlines Hero of Lethas for sponsoring this video. If you've never played Bloodlines, it is one of the most unique games out there for hero collectors, and it also has some amazing graphics and very interesting game mechanics. You can download the game for free right now using my link or scanning the QR code on the screen right now, and you will get yourself an amazing starter pack to go with your new account. June is the best time to start playing Bloodlines because they are celebrating their anniversary. So if you log in every single day, you will claim some free summons, some diamonds, and an abundant amount of resources available to you. Now is the best time to start playing Bloodlines. What makes Bloodlines so unique is their hybrid system. You can marry off your heroes to companions to create unique hybrids. There are over 1,000 different hybrids you can claim in this fantasy world. They release regular new Bloodlines into the game, and right now in June, we have the release of Titan Warriors, who are enforcers of the Iron Will of Olympus, alongside the 9-tailed Vulpins, who come from the eastern land of mysterious power. You can summon these right now in June when you start playing the game. What's more, the game looks visually amazing. Each individual hybrid has its own unique design style, all carried down from its parents and heritage. It is a great fantasy world to actually look at. You can take your hybrid heroes into the Seasonal Guild Wars, which is a rewarding late game PvP game mode where you can acquire some uniquely designed hybrids, the Bloodcraft Legends, that are only available in this game mode. Alongside your hero collection and marrying your heroes off with companions, you also have to build your kingdom, making strategic economic decisions to try and improve your kingdom, and it also has some great storylines to go along with it. I am having a lot of fun in Bloodlines Hero of Lethas, so if you want to get started, you can download this for free on Android or iOS, and you can use my link to get access to a free anniversary pack. It is worth $20, and it will give you a random champion, a summoning crystal, 100,000 gold, and about 100 diamonds. It's well worth getting. Also, if you are one of the first 30 players to comment with your account ID and username in the first pinned comment of this video, you will also be given a free legendary female Titan Warrior, one of the new Bloodlines that got released in June. That will help carry you through the game. So use my link to download this, put that comment in there, and get yourself started playing Bloodlines Hero of Lethas today. So if you remember in the last video, we were running this type of team with Riho, Rorik, Razelvarg, Seeker, and Demitha. But you can see here, in these middle actions, we got an increased attack on Razelvarg's A3 and his last A1, but his 2 A1s don't have increased attack, which means over a 4-turn, 2 of those attacks are essentially 50% weaker, which is quite a lot of damage loss. So really what we were trying to do is find a solution to improve this kind of situation. Now, Rorik is the one that obviously can be replaced because he doesn't do anything in terms of debuffing. He doesn't do anything in terms of really improving the overall team speed tune. He just has a unique ability to be able to boost his turn meter whilst hitting quite hard. So that was kind of the candidate. I was like, can I replace Rorik with someone who can provide better increased attack coverage? For also the Riho's A2 here, I do tend to delay the A2 so that the A2 happens on the increased attack move, but even one of Riho's attacks doesn't have increased attack. And even to some extent, the Demitha, one of her attacks doesn't. But luckily, Demitha doesn't attack on these actions, so we can get away with it, right? The ones that it really punishes is the Riho and the Razelvarg, and of course the Rorik here doesn't have increased attack as well. So an ideal candidate for this would have been someone like Brachus, the shapeshifter. I don't actually have him to try it. But what I did find was an epic champion that could provide better coverage, although it's still not perfect. So therefore, in this video, we are going to be making the JessicaRabbit clan boss team. Love that name, JessicaRabbit. We are using Lady Quillen instead of Rorik to provide better increased attack coverage. Now, I don't really know why she needs so many tools and weaponry. I mean, her strength and core strength to carry a mallet, 3 swords, like another little mallet there, and all these different things. Even a helmet is absolutely phenomenal. Give her credit. But why is Lady Quillen so good for this job? Well, she has this ability that when she attacks all enemies, she places an increased crit damage, so we'll gain 30% extra damage there, and increase attack buff on all allies for 2 turns if it's critical, which is easy to achieve. She also has an A2 where when she attacks one enemy, she places an extra hit if it's critical, and she will fill the turn meter of all allies if the attack kills an enemy. Obviously, we can't kill the boss, so that is not a problem. The main thing here is it's a conditional double hit. Conditional double hits normally hit incredibly hard, and this is nothing. This is also similar. But what's cool is we also have an A1 that she fills her own champion's turn meter by 50% if this attack is critical. This means we can run her at a slower pace, but still go at a 3-to-1 ratio because we get a little bit of extra turn meter here. So the idea is that this is going to provide us more increased attack, and this is going to provide us some turn meter to reduce her speeds, and she's going to hit really hard as well to try and mitigate the loss of the Rorik damage. Now, the only downside is this first to fight ability is only a 4-turn cooldown, which means that she's not going to be able to do it every rotation of the clan boss on a 3-1. We'd have to run her at a 4-1 to be able to get it more consistent. It's not really ideal. If this was a 3-turn cooldown, then the damage profile would increase even further because we'd be getting a 3-turn increased attack on a 2-turn cooldown. But on a 4-turn, it is just that slightly, it's just not quite there. Now, how have I got it built? I've got it built in sort of normal stats, right? We're focusing on stats. Masteries wise, it's basically just going down the right. We're going to try and get more extension on the increased attack with lasting gifts. We want to try and get those increased attack and increased crit damage lasting as long as possible. And we've also taken Laura Steel for some benefits. And of course, War Master, because everything is single attacks. Now, we have got her running at 297 speed in clan boss. She is incredibly fast. This is not a clan boss team designed for a beginner. This is a fun clan boss team. It is not designed for someone to just pick up and run with. It is just kind of like showing off that you can do it. But it's a free champion to some extent, so it's quite an accessible champion. Just this build is quite inaccessible. Obviously, I can leverage some of my area bonuses. I'm getting 12 speed, I'm getting 15% crit damage, I'm getting a little bit of ignore defense. Although in the raid digest, they did announce that the ignore defense is not working for all things like blessings and masteries, so not really sure how that got messed up, but it's only a minor thing, to be honest. It's not the end of the world. So we got her at 297 speed, 5.2k attack, and 254% crit damage. It is using some of my better gear. We've got a double roll there. We've got a double roll. We have a pretty average shield, I would say, but it's a good double roll. The gloves are pretty good. It's not like these are out of the world. That's probably a very, very good piece. And this is probably a very, very good piece as well, right? We are not breaking the bag. That's a low roll on the speed banner. They're not the craziest items in the world, but they're pretty good. We've even got a 5-star ring, but it's good double rolls all round, right? It's a good set of stats. Now, in terms of other champions, we haven't changed the team at all. We're still running a 6-star Awakened Seeker at 217 speed, 5.1k attack, 323% crit damage because we're taking advantage of the blessing and the area bonuses. We're still running Demitha here at, where is she? We're running a Commanding Presence Aura on Demitha. She's still running at 311 speed, 238% crit damage, 3.3k attack. She only attacks once, but she does pump out a decent amount of damage, so it's not like you should ignore it. And also then we're, of course, running the Riho Bone Spear, who is providing our immunity. She is providing some bonus damage. She does hit generally quite hard. She is in Toxic as well, because we don't have a Poisoner. She's at 285 speed, 220% crit damage, 4k attack. With that, the bonuses going on. She is not sitting on many good blessings. We have a 15% chance to apply Brimstone. It does apply quite often. But in an ideal world, we would try and get some bonus stats here. But Brimstone isn't an attacking, damaging a blessing, right? So it's only accuracy and HP. It would help mitigate the accuracy requirements. We could probably move her over to an attack banner, even though she's already on one. So really, it doesn't change her build too much, but we could probably try and find less accuracy in the build if we needed to. And finally, we have Razelvarg, who now has a 1-star soul. I was able to pick that up. I'm really frustrated I didn't get the 5-star soul. I could have got the 5-star soul if I really pushed for it in the hero's path. I think it would have pushed him onto a different level, but it was a very expensive thing to do. He is now fully mastered here with Giant Slayer. Some people did ask me, should you go Giant Slayer or War Master with Razelvarg? Because obviously his A1 is a triple hit, but his A2 and his A3 is a single hit. Now, for my team specifically, I'm doing 1 A3 and 3 A1s. So essentially, I'm getting more A1s than I am getting A2 and A3. So it makes sense for me to have Giant Slayer. I think if you were using the A2 and the A3, specifically in places like Hydra, then War Master for sure is going to be better for you because you're going to get more coverage of damage. But if you are in a situation where you're not using one of the other active abilities, then War Master is not as strong as Giant Slayer. As you can see, I've been trying to get a few books on him. I can't book the cooldown, but I can book the damage, and that would help. So where I've got spare books, I've been trying to do one by one until I hit that cooldown, then I won't be able to. The key with this team is you can't run Razelvarg with this cooldown booked because it doesn't work on a 4-1. This works on a 4-1 because he's able to do 1 A3 every turn. If he was booked, he would obviously move that A3 into different places and it would break the speed to him probably. It would be a lot harder, so it's important to keep it. We've gone Phantom Touch because he's damage based. It makes sense. So his build here is, again, pretty fast. 311 speed with 12. We've got 285% crit damage and 6k attack nearly. And he doesn't really need accuracy because we're not using his leech debuff, so we don't really care about that. We are also getting increased accuracy from Razelvarg, so when you start thinking I could get 50 accuracy from here, I could get increased accuracy, you can see I really don't need to run any level of accuracy down here if I really didn't want to. I probably got more accuracy than I require, mainly because I would imagine this has got speed plus accuracy. I could probably drop that accuracy rolls completely and put it into more damage. We don't need them, right? Everything else, like here, if I had a better shield, I could drop the accuracy, put it into something like a crit rate roll. So there are better options here. We're still waiting for the holy trinity of double speed roll with attack percentage chest from Toxic. We're still trying to farm for that. But yeah, so that's the advantage of having Razelvarg. You can actually limit a lot of your accuracy requirements as well as when you consider area bonuses, affinity bonuses, increased accuracy. So that's how the builds are working. Let's have a quick look at the Deadwood Jedi calculator to see what the coverage is like for increased attack now. So we can see here now we've got the Lady Quillen replacing the Rorik at that 297 speed. It is incredibly fast. It also has affinity issues. You cannot run this on Spirit. The best affinity to run it on is probably Magic, and I do have a recording of me running that on Magic. Unfortunately, it's Spirit today, so I can't run it today, but I did preempt this video and record it in advance. Magic is the best because you get Lady Quillen being strong affinity and the neutral affinity for Razelvarg. You could try to run it on something like Force, but Razelvarg is going to be weak affinity. Void you can also run it on, but you won't get any sort of affinity bonuses. It's better at least that Lady Quillen gets strong affinity damage versus the others getting neutral. Obviously, Demitha and Riho doesn't really matter. So we got Lady Quillen here. She's going to be doing A3 interchangeably. As I mentioned, it's on a 4-turn cooldown, so we can't go A3, A2, A1, A3, A2, A1. You can see it's going to jump around a little bit. It's going to go A3, A2, A1, A1, A3, A2, A1, A3 happens here. So she's got 3 A3s away there. The next time she's only going to be able to get one of them away. Then it's going to do 3 again, probably. It's going to move around a lot. It's just the way that it unfortunately is going to work. But what we have got now, you can see at least one of these attacks here is covered by increased attack. Then we've got another one covered here. They don't have any here. We've got nothing here, but we've got 1. And we got 1. So where before we had 6 attacks every 3 clan boss turns with that increased attack, now we've got 4 attacks with that increased attack. But we've also got increased crit damage when we do have it on other places. So that should help mitigate as well. Should help increase his damage a little bit as well. So it's still not perfect. It's still not the best solution because ideally I'd like increased attack on every single one of Razelvarg's attacks. If we can do that, then it goes really crazy. But as a stopgap, it's actually quite solid. And her damage alone is decent as well. It's not like she can't hit any damage. She's going to do a fair chunk of damage as well. Now, some of you in chat might be thinking, can we run Reflex? Can we run Relentless? Not really. And the reason why that is the case is because when she does her A1, she gains turn meter boost. So if we weren't to do the A1 here, then we've got to be careful of how we get back onto this ability, because you can see she might not get enough turn meter to stop her from taking the boss. So actually you can't even try and run like reflex or anything, because it will break the speed tune. So we just have to accept that A3 is on a 4-turn cooldown and it's not going to be as efficient as we'd like. So how does it run? Let's jump into the run. We talked about it. How does it look in the clan boss run? So we've got to manually set up the run here. We just need to extend the Demitha's A2 by 1 turn. And we also need to cover the first stun. We need to use Riho's A3 ability just before the stun happens, then delay it one more time before it gets to turn 5, so that she always does the A3 at the start of the turn. So it's just a sort of a 4-turn manual, which I think it's okay for these kind of like experimentalist one-time run teams to see how much damage we can really push. It's certainly not something you would want as your farmable team, which is why this isn't really a, hey, you can run this and make your clan boss team even better. This is a bit of a fun video going what you can do with various different champions that you would never think you could do. So we're going to have a look and see how much damage it is. We're going to just move it forward a little bit to around about turn 5 here, so we can see where we're at. So turn 4 here, just before turn 5. At this point here, we should be in speed tune at the end of this turn. You can see I'm still manual in it. I should put it on auto now, and we should be good to go. Demitha will put her A3 up, and we are now in speed tune. So we've got Razelvar going 4-1. We've got the Lady Quillen, Jessica, as we're going to call her in this one, going at a 3-1. We've got Sika going at a 2-1, but with that extra turn. Riho is going at 3-1, and Demitha is going at 3-1. So all of the champions are going incredibly fast. So let's have a look at some damage numbers here and having a look at what we've got. So the Seeker's basically hitting for about 140,000 each hit. 130k there. We've got 153,000 from the Lady Quillen, 121,000 there, not too bad. So there are lots of high damage numbers. The AoE's 141,000, 324,000 from Razelvarg's A3. The Mytho's actually pumping out 200k as well. You shouldn't ignore her A1. That's the double hit. So the double hit can be anywhere from 260 to 300,000 on an epic champion at 297 speed. It's crazy damage. I dread to think how hard I could make a hit if I had more space for more damage in stats. But what I want to really show is the difference between the Razelvarg A1 with the increased attack and without. Right now he's got increased attack because we got a lasting gifts proc. So you can see here, this is going to hit 326,000. That always hits with increased attack, but now he hasn't got increased attack at the moment. So we hit about 79,000 to 80,000. Watch this next attack here now. 143,000. It is like about 150,000 more. It's essentially an extra hit of damage we're getting with that bonus. Now, the other nice thing is if you run lasting gifts, you can get a proc with Demitha where she'll extend the buff up even further. So you can see we've still got increased crit damage here that we can use on this A3 for 359,000. Don't ignore that increased crit damage buff. It's not the craziest buff in the world, but it will improve his damage output. So by having these extra increased attack and increased crit damage buffs and using lasting gifts, we can hopefully push Razelvarg into a higher damage zone than he was in the Rorik teams, where he was constantly losing increased attack on 6 of his sort of 9 A3s, which is quite a lot because 66 of his A1s were not with increased attack. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let this run through so you can watch it. We'll put some epic battle music on here from Soundstripe. It's a great service. And we will then see how the damage numbers compare at the end to the damage numbers on the Rorik team, the best team that I've ever run for that. So we're just coming to the end of the run here. We're at turn 49. We're at 187 million damage with 4 epics. 4 epics. Well, 3 epics, a free fusion, and a Riho. Riho is probably the most inaccessible champion here out of the lot. But we're almost at 190. Can we break 190 before it ends? That's the real dream. We're very close. I think we might do it. 189. 190 million with the Brimstone proc right at the end. So how does the damage compare? Let's have a look. So we've got Razelvarg at 75.3 million damage. That is crazy numbers. We're so close to getting him on Ninja tier of damage. Riho pumping 34 million. Some of that will be Brimstone, some of it will be Toxic, but she does hit reasonably hard as well on her own. Seeker's at 32 million. Demitha is at 14 million. Again, that's what I said. You can't ignore her damage, but it's much lower than the rest. Lady Quillen, 33.5 million. That's pretty respectable for an epic champion. 33.5 million. She's going at 297 speed as well, remember? So she's going really, really fast and still pumping out a good 33 million. She's still pumping out what Seeker can pull out at a 6-star Awakening. She doesn't even have a blessing yet. Imagine if she had a 6-star Phantom Touch. The damage numbers would go up probably a couple mil on top of that. So there's still room for growth. Razelvarg, if we got him up to, say, a rank 4, we could get 25% more crit damage. That's 25% more damage here. It's a lot. These little things add up. We haven't got his A1 or his A3 booked. There is room to get this pushing above 200 million comfortably if we were to get some priority blessings, priority buffs, and priority books on him in the right places. So that's the team there. Now, how does that compare to, say, the best Rorik team that I've ever run? So this is actually on strong affinity for Razelvarg and Seeker because it is at spirit, neutral for Rorik. So technically our damage dealer's got like potentially 30% more damage because of the affinity bonuses. And we can see in this run, we've got 65.2 million from Razelvarg, 43 million. So Rorik hits harder than Lady Quillen. We've got about a 10 million loss of damage. But we've moved that over to Razelvarg, and we've also improved the damage from Riho and Seeker and Demitha due to the fact we've got that increased crit damage as well. So overall, it's beaten the Rorik team. It's outpaced the Rorik team completely here. It's got more damage than that team. And of course, we could have potential bonuses. I mean, this was run without Razelvarg having Phantom Touch. So potentially Razelvarg could be a bit stronger here. It's kind of like very difficult to say, but even then, I don't think the 1-star Phantom Touch was really adding up to sort of another 10 million damage there. I think Lady Quillen really made a difference. So you can see they're not that far apart, but it's kind of cool to be able to drop a legendary champion and bring an epic champion and actually get more success and more damage. But there you go, guys. That is the JessicaRabbit clan boss team using Lady Quillen at an insanely fast pace, but a lot of fun. I'm still trying to find different solutions to try and perfect this 4-1 clan boss team to try and really push Razelvarg to that huge numbers. I think a lot of it is going to depend on getting better Awakening and better souls. So I'm trying to acquire more souls for that. Obviously trying to get more essence, but it's really, really hard. Let me know in the comments below, guys, what you think of this clan boss team. Did you ever think that Lady Quillen would make it into a clan boss team? I actually think she's a really good champion. She's really underrated for how much she can do for your team. You get turn meter fill, you get increased attack, you get some self-boosting. She hits hard. Force affinities, decent affinity for a lot of early game, mid game. She's actually quite a good champion. If you've liked this video, hit that thumbs up. It really helps with those YouTube algorithms. And if you want to see more wacky clan boss teams and other important information coming out of Raid, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification. All of our channels will then come straight into your feed. But until next time, guys, thanks again for Bloodlines for sponsoring this video, and I'll catch you in the next video.